Yeah.
That's
Thank you for having me.
it's a
Thank you for
pleasure
having
always.
me.
So tell me then, Jess, before you even joined us, before you joined LMA, what was happening in your life? Like, what was maybe the biggest challenge that you were facing or a problem, and how was that affecting you in your life at that time?
I think that my biggest problem was peace of mind.
Mhm.
Like I just had so many thoughts in my head all the time, and um, I was actually very anxious.
Mm.
But I was at the time a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids, and that's what I had been for 14 years. So in my mind, it was just something that was just always going to be there because my younger sister suffered from it and my other sister. So it's just something that was there. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't know why I'm doing this. All I know is that I have everything in the world to be happy about. I have a great family, a great husband. I mean, people would die to stay at home and raise their kids. And it wasn't that I wasn't appreciative of that. It was just I didn't have any direction, and I was just always had these thoughts in my head. I'm a positive person, but it was like my mind would go all the time. And I remember having an interview with Tim, and this was like 3 years ago. And he said, "What's the number one thing?" And I said, "Peace of mind. I just want some peace." That was
Mm.
it. And when I joined, I had no expectations of what that was. I'd never done self development before. I said, he mentioned a bunch of things, and I was like, oh, he's talking to me. Tim's talking to me. And I was like, this has got to be it. This has got to be what I've waited for. And for me to take time to take a class, mm-mm. The first LMA was something for me.
Wow. So what was the first impressions for you? You know, like I said, you haven't done the self-development before. This was like the first thing, this Asian guy with this accent, like he like he talks all the time. So what were your genuine first impressions of LMA and being on board LMA the first time around?
My first impression was this guy is crazy. He is absolutely crazy. Now, I like crazy, but I was like, this is another level. Cause I usually say to myself, oh, somebody double dog dares me to do something. I'm going to do it. And then he's like, well, you got to turn on your camera and you have to talk to us. And I was like, huh? Oh, no. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. And then even some of the challenges we did to sit down and write what you dream about. What do you want to do? I was like, I've never thought of that. I just thought where I was where it was going to stay, where I was going to be. It's just the way it had to be. So
Mhm.
to even sit down and take an hour to write down, well, what do you want out of life? What makes you happy? What do you want to do? All of that, I wouldn't even allow myself to sit down and read a book or write that down. And I remember this is so silly. I'm writing down that I'm going to Hawaii and I'm going to watch the sunrise. And I was like, when I was done, I felt great. But then as we went on and we talked about a lot of the past things, that's when it really started to hit home for me. And I
Mhm.
was like, I don't know if I can complete this. And so I just stayed in. I didn't I'm like, I want to be the A student all the
Mhm.
time, the
Mhm.
perfectionist, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, you're not quitting this. There's no way you're quitting it. So I did. I finished it because I went in the community and I was like, I don't need any more friends. I don't have time for friends. Needless to say, it was the community that really got me through because I saw people out there, they're on camera, they're shaking, they're talking. And I was like, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. But here's the ticker. Here is the main thing. On day one, I saw your WCA video. I cried, I bawled my eyes out, and I said, I want to be world class. I wrote down the date at the top of my piece of paper. And then it was like, you got to do all the challenges. You've got to do all the challenges. And I had an accountability partner, and she did her first video week 3 before me. And I was like, oh, if that girl's doing it, I better step up.
Uh-huh.
And Tim always says, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish that matters. And I finished. and I was able to get a spot to go to WCA. And I thought every anguish, I'm almost tearing up right now. Every nerve, every fear, every challenge just pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to the point where I was like, if I want to be world class, I'm going to do that. I want to go. And it happened. I wrote it in my cell phone. It was my password. I wrote it on my car window. Like, you know, those markers, the smelly ones you can write on the whiteboards. I wrote it up there, the date, and I went. It was 11/17/22, and I 11/16, or it was 21/22. I was there. So it was a year later because COVID had hit. And
Yeah.
even switching around dates, I still ended up being there one date away from the time.
All honestly, like this gives me shivers. I'm listening to you, and it just makes me think, what's yours, what belongs to you, would always be there. Sometimes it takes time for the alignment to happen, but if it's meant for you, if you're meant to be there, like no matter what, your heart knows it, your whole body, your whole soul, it knows it. It needs to be there, and it happens. That's beautiful. So just tell me, when did the shift happen? I've seen you from the very beginning of it all. I still remember, honestly, I still remember the interview we had. I do vividly. I remember loving your necklace. Like I was like, oh, I'm obsessed. So when did the shift happen for you in terms of, going for LMA, challenging yourself, because you have big time. So when did you feel like, oh, something has shifted, something has moved for you?
I want to say, well, there's two times. Well, there's more. I could write a book, I swear. The first time was me just allowing myself to go out and walk on the beach and have no music, no space, just kind of be with myself. And I would just have this overwhelming feeling of being grateful, even though it was in my mind, I was saying, this is stressing me out. I took my camera and stuck it on the stairs and took a picture of myself because I was like, I can't believe this, the way I feel. It was all about this feeling, like this, it was a feeling of being free. And that was the first time where I was like, this shift, whatever it is happening, even though I was scared to face some of the things that I was telling myself in my head.
Mhm.
The second was when, right after I finished, I signed up for SMA, having no idea what that was, and telling myself, you are as crazy as that Asian guy right there. Because what are you doing? Can you be pushed anymore? And I was like, I'm not a speaker. I'm not going to speak to anybody. And it wasn't even about that. And that was really put me in the fear zone. But I had so much fun and I got connected with so many wonderful people. And we're all out there. And it was all about communication. And I learned that how much I actually influenced my family.
Mhm.
And the more I quieted myself, the more I was a better listener. It spread throughout my family. Having 6 of us in one room, different ages, younger brothers, sister, there was a lot of yelling and screaming and, oh, you did this and you did that. And it was all of a sudden after SMA, wow, even during SMA, when I started paying attention and being more aware of myself,
Mhm.
it was like this big, huge calmness had gone over
Mm.
my family. And it's beautiful. It's that way today. And I do have a lot more work to do. But what I didn't realize about SMA was that the way I saw myself in the future, from my identity label, that was exactly what I needed to be where I am today. As a coach, I am speaking and talking. And it just took me going into SMA and getting over myself
Yeah.
to realize that it is all about communication.
Mm.
And we're not taught that in school. As a matter of fact, I didn't realize. I used to think that was I was really, oh, my husband never communicates. Da, 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 da. no, really, it was me
Mhm.
taking ownership
Mhm.
of having good communication.
Mhm.
And it's so beautiful to watch now other people when you talk to them
Yeah.
and realize where they're coming from.
Mhm.
And I feel that I can touch others' hearts better than ever before,
Wow.
because not only am I allowing communication, but I'm also feeling it. Like my heart is open
Yeah.
no matter what. It's just beautiful.
Wow. I am so proud of you. Like you are just, sometimes there are nice words that come out, but I do feel like your energy that says it all, like the way you say things, the way you express yourself, it just cuts through everything and it lands directly in the core. So tell me what's next for Jess. Like, what are you excited about? What's coming your way? What are we manifesting?
Right now, this is my year of surrendering and letting go. That was
Mm-hmm.
my intention for the year. It is being with peace with what is.
Mm-hmm.
It's allowing things to come in. It's I want to dream bigger. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm doing now. So right now, I am doing a worldwide online health coach fitness. It's so much fun. I love it. We also have a gym. That was something that I put in my pillars in LMA that has happened.
Wow.
I said I was a coach and now I'm a coach. And this has all happened in 3 years. I wrote Hawaii. I went to Hawaii. So ultimately, I would love to have retreats. That's ultimately what I would love. It's what's coming to me. It's what's in my heart. And so I went to my first yoga retreat this year. That was also in my pillars.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to touch hearts and help people love themselves and be healthy. Women especially, too, because I didn't love myself,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the the main problem,
Yeah.
honestly. And so the more that you are healthy and you make that a part of your life and you're happy, then everyone around you is going to be
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I resonate with that so much. And Jess, I cannot wait for your retreats to happen. I want to be one of part of
happy.
the
Yes,
first
I would
one
love that.
somehow, in some way, because honestly, I feel like you're gonna be amazing at it. And you're so right. Like everything changes when you do love yourself because as women, we know we can put ourselves together, put on the makeup and all of that. But if you don't love yourself, people see that. The vibe is different. You show up differently. But when you love yourself, you're open the space to love a lot more people as well because you give from overflow. And I feel like, every time I see you, I feel like you are the modern goddess. She's there. She's like all playful. She's all elegant. She's gorgeous. She's like into, the crazy stuff. And I think it's just, it inspires that this, and I think authenticity as well. This is something that I see a lot in you, like being authentic with who you are, the way you present yourself, the way you speak, the way you do things. I think when you feel that authenticity, that inspires authenticity in other people as well, because it's just so pure. The energy is so pure that you feel like I want to be on that vibe. So with that said, Jess, I just wanted to say that you have no idea what an important part you are of this community, of our program. You are not just a member, you are a family. You truly are. We know you by name, we know you by energy, we know you by your heart and your soul. And I know that this is a forever thing. It's not like, for a little while. It's a forever thing, and you're always gonna stay in our hearts, and you have your little cheerleaders there for you. And thank you for everything that you do, because you bring a lot as well, and I feel like because of you, so many people have made shifts in their lives as well. And I'm just so excited for your people that will come to your retreats, that are touched by you, because you are honestly truly one of the kind. So thank you for everything, and I
Thank you
love
so
you.
much, Tama. And I have to say, you guys are family, and you have such a big example to all of us with your energy, with your beauty, the way you love on yourself, the way you love on people. Um, I cannot thank you enough for being such an inspiration to me. And also for Success Insider, Tim, I mean, gosh, and in the community and all that you do for everyone, billions around the world, I'm going to be right there with you. Thank you for showing me the way.